motherfucker.
Welcome to a death predictions video where we talk about the depression that we will receive in episode 4. This video is edited a lot because InfernoKun and Gamerpercy do not know how to condense their predictions about unimportant characters such as Willie and Omar. I will never collaborate with them again. Thank you and enjoy.
Welcome back, guys, to another juicy, saucy video that I'm bringing you guys based on The Walking Dead Season 4, the finale season, the final season, Episode 4, Broken Toys. We're going to be talking about death predictions because depressing videos clearly fit the theme for Episode 4, Broken Toys. And the reason I say we is because I'm not alone. I am joined with two people, as read in the title and you saw in the thumbnail. Introduce yourselves. Starting from the person with the least amount of subscribers.
Hi, I'm Percy, and I enjoy games because I enjoy it, and yeah, me.
Okay. Hey, I'm InfernoKun. I was thinking about what you said. You know, that whole juicy, salty thing. That just sounds disgusting. But I have the channel called InfernoKun where I post InfernoKun Walking Dead videos. So sub, I guess.
Both of these beautiful people have been on the channel before, of course. So let's start off with Willie. I'm gonna say he's gonna be alive. I'm gonna go for a very linear approach with this video. So I'm gonna say a name and then I'm gonna say alive or dead, and you guys are gonna share your input. So Willie is going to be alive in my opinion, just because I don't think he's going to be very much into the action. I think he's not going to have a lot of time on screen, and therefore he's not going to be much of a threat, and he's not really going to meet the Grim Reaper, as a matter of fact. So Willie, not because I think he has a very important role, but then again, I guess we need to have some sort of character alive. But yeah, what do you guys think about Willie?
I really don't mean Willie is probably most likely alive. I don't think he's gonna die. You know, he's not really that big. You know, quiet masturbation, lol.
Boy, no. If you don't get, I really like Willie. He's definitely weird, but people like him apparently, so he might as well be alive because people like him.
Okay, interesting character there, Willie. Now we're going to move on to Ruby, who I'm actually putting down as dead.
You know, I don't think about Ruby like dying because I'm thinking they can go either way. It going like, hey, we're gonna kill off every single one of these kids, or some of them at least, or it can be like, hey, we could have some alive and the important ones who are most important would probably end up dying or something like that. So
I doubt she's gonna die.
Move on to Sim, which is a character that he had a bigger role in episode 1 than he had in the rest of the series, and that is of course Sim. Like I said, Sim, I put him down as determinant just because he is kind of an active guy when it comes to killing the walkers, participating in the action, etc.
If they were to kill him off, like, part of me, I would care obviously, but like I feel like another part of me wouldn't care because I barely talk to him at all. So I could see him being determinate, but like there's another part where I just see him just either being maybe dead or alive.
Yeah, you know, yeah, I definitely would have to see from the alive part. You know, I think that he, like Percy said, not as big, but you know, if he were to die, okay, I can see him possibly being determinate, you know.
Omar, I put him down as dead. Now, this is because of this whole injury with his leg. I think he's going to be a bit of a burden on the group and end up sacrificing himself in some way.
Omar is like the best. He's definitely 100% surviving, okay? No way they're gonna kill our boy Omar. Leg injury? Nope, he'll be a-okay.
Omar literally looked fine in episode 3. I doubt he's gonna die.
Great stuff. Moving on to the next character, we are talking about James. James, interesting character, could die, could be alive in your playthrough depending on your choices and whether you decided to give mercy to Lily or actually kill her like I did. So I'm gonna have to see what you guys have to say first, and then I shall give my opinion. InfernoKun.
Okay, so James is that boy that I don't think is going to die either way. I think that he will end up surviving the season, mostly because of what Kent Muddle said about his philosophy about determinate characters. Hey, if you wanted to save them, if they survive, they'll probably end up, you know, surviving. They won't die. I don't think James will be dead. I think he'll be alive and just fine because I feel like he, you know, after the season could, like, you know, provide a pretty, like, be important in wherever it's going to happen, because, you know, at the end stuff is going to continue on. He could end up, you know, doing him, and that'll be really, really good. So I think that James will, you know, just end up being alive if he is alive in episode 4.
It's literally the final episode, the final season, the entire series pretty much of Clementine's story. Like, I don't know, just don't kill him off, because actually make him good towards the plot, actually use him in the episode, actually make a difference in the episode.
You and InfernoKun make some great points about this obviously being the last episode, and James, you know, with the whole Kent model thing and how he talked about determinant characters and how they should obviously be treated is obviously interesting and very promising. So, similar to James, Lily had a very similar role, with her being alive or dead depending on your choice. Will Lily get the same treatment as James? According to me, I hope so. I think Lily and James should have a decent amount of, you know, coverage in her role, at least all the way up to like halfway through the episode. After a while, I wouldn't mind them being determinant again. However, I do think they should have some sort of important role. However, I think, like I said, James should be alive and Lily should be alive to a certain extent. However, I don't mind if they go determinant eventually. What do you guys have to say about that?
As for Lily, I don't think I mentioned this in my video or not, but you know, I'm fine with her possibly surviving the season as long as you give the players the option for a second chance to kill her. Okay, you know, it'd be really cool. Like determinant again, have her be alive if you want her to kind of redeem herself, or if you're like, fuck that bitch. But you know, I think, you know, I'm done. She has to die for me. Please give me the option.
I do see a double determinant choice could be very interesting.
I swear to God, if they do some dumb, like where she's randomly gone, and then she doesn't come back at all, like just her missing in action, like I swear to God, that's gonna be like the most dumb shit ever. Like maybe make us at least kill her to have some satisfaction.
However, we are moving on to the next character, and that is of course Ten. Now, Tennessee is going to be a very interesting character, and in my opinion, I think in episode 4 he's going to end off being alive, just because I think he's kind of a different character. I don't know why, I don't really have a specific reason for Ten being alive, but I do like, you know, how his role is actually kind of always been quite interesting. From episode 1 he's been quite that shy, scared guy, and episode 2 and episode 3 he's kind of had a bit more of a say-so in the episode, especially in episode 3 where he talks about the Walker Age and how he, you know, the future for the zombie apocalypse is going to be like.
Yeah, as for 10, you know, I think that he'll probably end up dying, but, you know, I do think that we still need some more development from him. We got a little bit of development from him throughout the whole season, but, you know, once we get that, once we learn about what happened to him with his scar and everything else, I think that he has the possibility of possibly dying, but I can also see him being alive because, you know, his sister is alive, therefore things can happen between him and her, and that could be kind of where it goes between, okay, it might happen to 10 or it might happen to her. So
I'm like worried that we're not going to get enough development of 10 in episode 4. The only development we're going to get is possibly just Minerva and 10. So I feel like maybe they'll kill him off just because maybe we don't need him anymore in a way.
There's a lot of unanswered questions, such as the scar on his face, his relationship with Minerva and Sophie, you know, them, you know, us guessing that he was adopted, you know, what is the backstory to that. There's a lot of unanswered questions, and hopefully we do get some sort of insight in episode 4, as we did not get any in episode 3. Now we're going to get into the more juicy characters, starting with Minerva, who I actually put down as determinant, and that is because I think she's going to have a very important role. I think she's going to be one of those characters who we think don't have the big role and then just end up having a really massive role in episode 4. You know, she's technically MIA, and she's kind of, you know, if she's alive, she's going to start episode 4 kind of weak, you know, after being shot by Violet, etc. However, the fact that Violet was with her when, you know, the whole shipwreck happened, that's what makes me think that she is probably still alive. And episode 4, I reckon she isn't gonna go down dead or alive, but I think she's just going to be determinant, depending on the scenario. I think she's going to have some sort of disagreement with Clementine, and this is eventually going to actually escalate into something massive, which could eventually end up in her death. What do you guys have to say about that?
Yeah, I do see her being determinant because of mainly 10 for that reason, just because maybe something will involve with 10, or something that'll maybe lead her to dying, or maybe Clementine, maybe 10's like standing there and doesn't want Clem to kill her because she doesn't trust Minerva, but 10 does. So that'd be cool to see.
yeah, so I also agree with the whole Minerva determinant thing, because I think that should be pretty important. And you know, she's very, very, very close within, you know, the circle of 10. Therefore, I think that, you know, whatever happens with Minerva will be because of, you know, 10 in some way, not directly being caused by him, but can be caused by his choices and how he was affected throughout the whole season. So I think that Minerva being determinant will definitely be a factor in episode 4.
Great insight from both of you, loving the contribution. And now we get into the top tier, the top 3, the top tier, and that is Lewis, Violet, AJ, and Clementine. So we're going to start off with Lewis and Violet, and we're going to group them together, and I put them down as double determinant. Now, I think that the whole maiming thing is going to be interesting with Lewis, of course, that his tongue is cut out. Lewis in my playthrough doesn't have his tongue cut out, so that should be interesting. How is he going to react differently, you know, in a different playthrough? That's going to be very interesting. Can't wait to see what happens there. With Violet, of course, that's also very interesting as well with the whole Minerva thing. I could definitely see them being double determinant, whether, you know, it's a clear Lewis versus Violet choice like that was teased earlier on, or just a different indirect choice. That's going to be very, very interesting. I don't know exactly what I'm expecting from Lewis and Violet in episode 4. I do expect a lot of, you know, support, emotions, and, you know, some sort of disagreement. With Lewis and Violet, it's going to be very interesting again, purely for the fact that, you know, we've had them built up as, you know, the closest characters to Clementine. So how far they survive, and, you know, if they go MIA, it should be interesting. What do you guys have to say about Lewis and Violet?
Okay, well, so double determinant is very, very interesting. A concept that rarely happened, except if you're Conrad, I guess. Was he a determinant? I think he was. I don't know.
It was
but,
a triple, you know, determinant.
Yeah, pretty much. But that would definitely be pretty interesting, because that would definitely provide for some very interesting combinations, you know. If his tongue's cut out and he survives, and then, you know, and then if Violet's, you know, angry and stuff, and then she survives, various things like that, it's really interesting. I'm just not entirely sure if they would go that route, because I feel like, you know, it'd be cool for like the 1% who regret their choice or who they saved, but I think that, you know, if, you know, for me, for example, you know, I saved Violet once, I'm probably gonna do it again.
It's really weird because they like made Lewis definitely like kind of scared because he literally just got his tongue cut off. And then Violet, she kind of like agreed with the Delta camp, and she was like, oh, I trust them. And then she's like, Clementine ruined everything. So it's like kind of weird to like see these vibes, because you have one being scared and he could be helpful or not. And then you have another one who's angry at you that you might have to kill. So I do see them being determinant, if I have to be honest with you.
Now we're going to end it off with AJ and Clementine. Now, AJ and Clementine, I've talked about this in InfernoKun's video, and I'm going to have the same view where I'm going to talk about this from a financial point of view, from a business point of view, and just from an entertainment point of view, where having AJ dead and Clementine alive, that will probably be the most emotional ending in my opinion, just because this whole time it's the concept we have in our head is Clementine dies, so what does AJ do? But what do we do if AJ dies and Clementine is alive? You know, it's very different. It's a different point of view. We haven't mentioned it at all in the series, whereas Clementine dying and AJ surviving, that's almost seen like what is eventually going to happen, right? It's the narrative that the writers actually want to instill into your head while playing this game. You know, Clementine will die and AJ will survive. But this could obviously be a trick to kind of make you forget about the fact that AJ could possibly die and Clementine will survive, which will make a very emotional, depressing ending, as Clementine will obviously be very depressed, as she will feel as a parent, as a caretaker, that she has failed her role. So that will make the most emotional ending in my opinion. Of course,
I want an ending where maybe both AJ and Clementine are dead, but then again, I kind of want, like, you know, one of them to be alive at least, because I feel like having them dead is kind of like too much. So I would personally like have like 2 routes with Lily of maybe Clem being alive and then AJ being dead, and then have another 2 routes of where Lily's dead and then James is alive, and then maybe have like one route where Clem's alive and AJ's like dead, and then you get the point. But like, that's something I would like to see in my opinion, because it would be cool to see 2 different scenarios of how shit goes down and how the death leads up, like 2 different ways, if that makes sense.
Since Sif mentioned that financial aspect, okay, easy, okay. So AJ dies, okay, because you know there are something called no Clem, no buy. Okay, Clem survives. Okay. Now season 5, there you go. Finances up, you get Clementine. Another time. Huh? Yeah.
Boy, if you don't get
okay. But
boy, if you don't
seriously though, I don't think that, you know, it's our final season. But anyways, I think that either way, someone's gonna die, whether it be Clementine or AJ. They're probably not gonna survive, both of them at least. So I think that someone has to die, or it won't be as sad. It'd be kind of a bit of cliche. But for the love of God, please do not copy the Lee and Clementine thing, okay? I get it, you like your homages, okay? Just don't copy it. It's not original. I don't like it when you copy stuff. If it's like a small scene where you're not copying, but paying homage to a certain scene that was in the previous season, that's okay. But if you're really just doing the exact same thing in the episode, like Clem guides AJ the same way Clem, or Lee guided Clem, that wouldn't be good. So I think that either way, it's gonna end up being AJ dying or him surviving, and then Clem dying or her surviving. So either way, I think that one of them are gonna die, and that would make for the best ending, in my opinion.
Didn't they mention how they're not gonna copy the same ending as season 1?
I have no clue, but some people, I'm not gonna mention who, but some people think that, you know, ending it off the same exact way, like going into the same exact place, dying the same exact way in the same exact pose, is awesome. No, it's not. I don't like that. It's dumb.
Well, anyway, of course, that was all the characters that we have to talk about. This awesome video. It's gone longer than I thought, to be honest. However, thank you guys so much for watching. Any final thoughts, InfernoKun? Any final thoughts, Gamerpercy? Leave them now.
Percy, you first.
No, you.
Oh, fine. Jeez, okay. We forgot the most important character, Kenny. Where is he at? No, I'm joking. Please don't. Anyway. But yeah, check out my channel and check out Percy's channel as well. But more importantly, my channel, because I can make awesome videos, and the Sif over here does as well. So that's great. I'm InfernoKun. I pass it on to Percy.
I play a lot of games on my channel, and yeah, you should definitely subscribe to me because I live stream pretty much every day, so I've called that an accomplishment.
I'm going to leave an end screen in the ending of the video where, of course, we did 2 prediction videos as well. One on InfernoKun's channel and one on Gamerpercy's channel, where we actually talk about their point of views, and it's very juicy, it's very saucy. I'd definitely check it out because it's great. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and this has been me, SIF, this has been InfernoKun, and this has been Gamerpercy, and we are out in a bit.